Hello everyone. Today I will discuss about properties of colloidal solution. Properties of colloidal solution. Colloidal solution has following important properties. These are: number 1, colligative property. As we all know, colligative property mainly depends on number of particle, not nature of particle. We know in true solution the size of particle is very small. Size of particle is very small. But in colloidal solution, size of particle is large because the particle of true solution may combine and form large colloidal particle. When these particles combine and form large particle, the number of particle become less. Therefore, colligative property of colloidal solution are less as compared to colligative property present in the true solution. The second property of colloidal solution is Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? If colloidal solution is taken in a beaker and light is incident on colloidal solution and also focus with the help of lens in the solution. The path of light in the solution is observing perpendicularly with the help of microscope. Then this path seems to be blue color cone like. Blue color cone like. This effect first of all observed by A.G. Tyndall. Hence it is called Tyndall effect. We can simple define Tyndall effect as Tyndall effect depends. And the answer is it depends on two factor. Number one, size of particles, and refractive index of medium. Next question. Now, now, the next question is why Tyndall effect not present in lyophilic colloidal solution? And the answer is because the refractive index of lyophilic colloidal solution and sorry, because the refractive index of lyophilic colloidal solution for dispersed phase and dispersion medium differ greatly in magnitude. Now, the next the property of colloidal solution is electrophoresis. Electrophoresis phoresis. If colloidal solution are taken in a tube, this is a U shaped U shaped tube. In which colloidal solution is taken. In one of its arm, negative plate cathode is connected, and other arm positive plate anode is connected. Then what happened? All the colloidal particle start moving towards one opposite electrode. Suppose this colloidal solution contain negative charge. Then all the colloidal particle start moving towards positive plate anode, and this process is called electrophoresis. In simple, we can define electrophoresis as the movement of colloidal particles under an applied electric potential is called electrophoresis. Process of settling of colloidal particle are called coagulation. Coagulation can be done by number one, by adding electrolyte. Number two, by boiling. Number three, by mixing two oppositely charged colloidal solution 4 by electrophoresis. These are the common method with the help of which coagulation can be done. I am explaining it with the help of mixing electrolyte. Suppose in this container colloidal particles are present and these are negatively charged colloidal particle. These colloidal particles never come close to each other. Why? Because of similar charge, there is a repulsion force act on them. If we add an electrolyte like NaCl, then what will happen? Positively charged Na plus come close to these colloidal particles and make them neutral. When all colloidal particles become neutral, then repulsion force acting between them disappear. They come close to each other. They combine, coalesce, become heavy, and settle at bottom due to gravity. This is coagulation. Now, there is a law regarding coagulation, and it is very important for any test or exam. This is Hardy Sculge law. According to this law, the coagulative power of effective ion of an electrolyte depends on charge present on it. It means Na plus, Ca plus plus, Al plus plus plus, and Ti 4 plus. All these are effective ion for neutralizing negatively charged colloidal particle. The coagulative power of Ti plus 4 is maximum, then aluminum ion, then calcium ion, and sodium has lowest. If we are neutralizing positive colloidal particle, then effective ion will be negative ion Cl minus, CO3 minus minus, PO4 triple minus, and FeCN6. This is Hardy-Sculge law. Now, coagulative power. What is coagulative power? It is defined as minimum number of millimole of an electrolyte required to coagulate one liter colloidal solution. In some book, in 2 hours is also written. Means minimum number of millimoles of an electrolyte required to coagulate 1 liter of colloidal solution in 2 hours. Now, coagulative value coagulative value and coagulative power are just inverse of each other. The electrolyte whose coagulative power is more, then its coagulative value will be less. Sorry, it is not hour, it is coagulative power. Now, the next property is protection and protective colloid. Protection and protective colloid. Suppose in a container we have taken lyophobic colloidal solution, and in other container we have taken lyophilic colloidal solution. If electrolyte is mixed, maybe NaCl, maybe KCl or other electrolyte mix in lyophobic colloidal solution, then it easily coagulate. If a small amount of lyophilic mix in lyophobic colloidal solution, now on mixing electrolyte, lyophobic does not coagulate. We can say lyophilic colloidal solution is protecting lyophobic colloidal solution from coagulation. Therefore, lyophilic colloidal solution is called protective colloids, and this process is called protection. How we can define it? When lyophilic colloidal solution is mixed in lyophobic colloidal solution, then lyophilic colloidal solution forms a protective layer around lyophobic colloidal solution and protect it from coagulation. This process is called protection, and lyophilic colloidal solution is called protective colloid. So today we have discussed about properties of colloidal solution. That's all for today's class. Thank you.